I'm Todd Isles from Compton, West Side Park Village, Compton Crip. I tell you 700 times, I ain't gonna tell you no more.
Give me a little background on where you grew up.
Well, I grew up in Park Village, back in the 60s, 1964. And through the years right there, I went to Victory Park School before they even called it Park Village, stuff like that. Me and my homie Snake, we was best friends and stuff like that. And when we got in junior high and high school and stuff, that's when we started gangbanging in 1972. When we started gangbanging, it's the reason why we started gangbanging. One day, me, my homies was walking from one end of the village on the Snake Road to the other side of the village to see what these other niggas doing. Now, we wasn't gangbanging at that time. But when the green 6.5 Chevy with a great parking spot on the side, 4 great parking spots on the side, it was put in a tandem. We didn't know them at the time, though. But he asked us, well, we from the Grandies. It was only one nigga in our crowd was from the Grandy. That was King Rat. He was living in Park Village forever, too. But he just started gangbanging before we have. He was telling us about the shit. But anyway, they pulled up on us and put in actions we all from the Grandies. We told him no. Then he started laughing at us and he said, yeah, because if you was, you'd got this. He pulled out a sawed-off shotgun on our ass. And that's when we got mad. When he pulled off, that's when the homie said, man, fuck that. We're going to start breaking in the houses and getting guns now. When we got the guns, we broke in the houses and got guns and shit. That's when King Rat went back to the Grandies and told a couple of his homies to come back into the hood over there where we was at on the merry-go-round. And they shook our hands and everything, introduced themselves. It was JD Boy, Jack the Ripper, and King Neen. Them 3 came over there. And they asked us where we was going to be from, what we going to call ourselves. And I said, we're going to call ourselves Park Village Boys. But my homie Kitty said, no, nigga, we ain't no damn boys. Nigga, we Park Village Crips. And that name stuck ever since. Park Village Crips,
You know what year that was?
1972.
Okay, so 72 Park Village.
Yeah, that's when we first started. That's when we was born.
What other Crips was in Compton at the time?
At that time, it was nothing but the Grandy Crips and Carver Parks. It wasn't no other hood or really gangbanging on our side of town, out on the west side. You know what I'm saying? It's just like a chain reaction. After we got started, the blocks was already there, Nutty Block, but they wouldn't call themselves Nutty Block at the time. They was calling themselves Block Crips. Then after that, they was calling themselves 165 Crips. And then, what's that after that? Neighborhood Crips. And then after that, they end up with Nutty Blocks.
What about Front Hood? What was they doing?
Front Hood, they weren't always Front Hoods. They just called themselves Front Brothers. Back then.
Was the Swamps out yet?
Oh, the Swamps, they was out. It was out. Swamps was out. They came out after the Grandies. Not right after the Grandies, but we came out after the Grandies. But the Swamps, they came out, they was on their own park right there by Campanella Park and stuff right there. They was over there. In that corner section right there. They were taking over that shit. New Park wasn't even around. West Park was around then. They used to be Bloods until the homie Marcellus and them, they turned them fools Crips. Lantana Crips, But, back then, them days, that's when we used to call ourselves Compton Crips. There was no segregation with no hoods and stuff. We always Compton Crips, And then later on come the Foreign Dogs, and Acacia Blocks, and Spook Town, because Spook Town used to be U.S. They used to be Peru, show dead. Back in them days, it was Peru. But we turned them motherfuckers Crips, That's when, who was that over there? Dwayne Moe and them. Them motherfuckers U.S. But they turned Crips because they got tired of us coming in their neighborhood taking their coats and shit, They used to go to Dominguez High and stuff like that. We used to go to Dominguez and rob them, you know. And Atlantic Drives used to hit that ass up too, you know.
Let's go back a little ways. You say you moved to Compton in '64?
I was living in Compton in 1964. I was a little kid.
What year was you born?
I was born in 1957.
Okay, so that's right. So you were first generation Park Village.
That's right.
And Compton Crips.
That's right. One of the first generations of the whole city.
What was Mac Thomas doing at the time?
Well, Mac Thomas, he was doing time during that time because Head Honcho, he was running the shit then. At that time, he was going calling all the meetings and stuff. You know, every Friday we had a meeting, you know, for all the hoods to come together though. And he used to always tell us at our meetings and stuff, we all family, you know. You know, don't act like you don't know this nigga when you see him in some shit like that, you know, fighting and shit. Don't turn your back away on boy and stuff like that. And walk away from his ass when he getting his ass whooped and shit. You better go help that nigga. You know what I'm saying? Because that's your brother.
In '72, when y'all started Park Village, was it any gangs in the Wilmington Arms before that?
No, Wilmington Arms wasn't even built. Wilmington Arms didn't get built till 1975. That's when they finished built that sucker.
When did the Samoans come into play?
Samoan's been there forever. The Samoan's been there just as long as the blacks been in Park Village. You know, even when they had that brick wall all the way around, because Park Village used to be an old army base or something like that, you know. And that's where people, niggas from out of state armies and shit like that lived there, right there in the apartments right there. They had their family there and stuff, raised their family. So they used to have a big old wall, a big brick old wall coming around. And then on top of that, it wasn't even named Park Village. It was named Victory Park at that time. Now this old white man had bought that whole complex and changed the name. His name was Mr. Silvers and Mr. Wolf. They were some millionaires. They bought the whole complex and started renting them out to people like regular families and stuff like that. You know, they had moved to Army base and stuff. So back then, it was just a regular community, regular neighborhood, all that. You know, kids on skates, riding bikes, had boys clubs and all that stuff. You know, Black Panthers was around then. Black Panthers was standing up in there too, you know. But you know, they the ones opened up the home, what they call that shit back then, team posters, boys clubs. And they give us breakfast early in the morning, you know, before you go to school and stuff like that, you know.
So you guys went to school with the Samoans?
Yeah, we went to school with them. We even went to their luau's. We went to their parties, everything. They are our brothers, our sisters. That's what they are. They're our family. My whole hood, that's right there, it's nothing but a community. We had, but in that whole neighborhood right there, I said it was about 2 or 3 white families in there that stayed in there. And about 5 or 6 Mexican families, but the rest was all Black and Samoans, all the way around.
Was it any Mexicans from Park Village?
You know, we got a few, but I don't know their names, so, you know, I don't know their names, so, but we had a few of them, though.
In your generation or younger generation?
Younger generation, not my generation. You know, ours was just Samoan and Black, you know. Shit, they act blacker than we do, you know. That's for real, you know. Yeah, I mean, you know, there was a lot of, like, the people that know the Samoans and stuff, they just think the Samoans was crazy, which they was. But if you make friends with them, you got a friend. You know, if you their enemy, you gonna stay their enemy. Just like a Mexican gang, shit like that. You know, that's how they are. You know, I mean, you know, they just walk around barefooted all the time. I used to wonder how come they can walk around barefooted like this shit, you know, and don't even feel the concrete. You know, they was walking on glass and everything. You know, they had some hard feet. You know what I'm saying? They used to do that shit. I ain't in a bulldog and all that shit. Man, come on now. They used to play football like that and shit.
Give me a roll call of some of the original Samoan Park Village that you remember.
Okay, the ones I remember, the main ones I remember is Moondog, Hyena, Weeze, Dragon, who else? Tafuga, he had Tafuga, and what's the other one name? God damn it, it's right on the tip of my tongue. Happy, yeah, and who else?
Tafuga was Roscoe.
No, Tafuga and Roscoe is two different people. Tafuga is bigger than Roscoe. you know, yeah, Roscoe, the one joined the Booyah tribe, right? Yeah, he was in the Booyah tribe. Yeah. But anyway, you're the ones I know right there for sure.
So what junior high school did Park Village go to back in the day?
Back in the day, they went to Walton and Davis, but the main school it was Davis. That school right there, when I was going there, it was like wasn't nobody gangbanging at that time in '70. You know what I'm saying? But our neighborhoods used to fight against other neighborhoods anyway. You know what I'm saying? But I got to know a whole lot of people from different sides, which they turned Pyru. And it's just we all grew up together.
And what high school? Compton?
Oh, Compton High is all Crip school.
That's where you went?
Yeah, I went to Compton High until I got kicked out of that sucker, on a robbery charge, taking a coat, from a nigga that didn't need it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. He didn't need it. It was a waste of our other coat. I needed that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, And the guards saw me doing it and stuff, so they immediately caught my ass in the classroom and handcuffed me and took me to jail and got kicked out of Compton High,
Did you ever go to YA?
YA, yeah, I've been in YA, YTS, and I did a little short time in that sucker, because I was getting trial as an adult at that time and stuff, and I beat the case, but they still end up sending me to camp. You know what I'm saying?
Did you make it to prison?
Yeah, I went to prison too. I've been to prison 6 times. I did 3 violations and 3 different terms on convictions.
So I gotta ask you this: when you was in the pen, did the Samoans roll with the blacks or the others?
Well, they run with us.
They ran with y'all.
Yeah, they run with us, strictly us. And then once they got deep enough, they started their own crew. Now they got their own crew going on. I forgot what the name of it is, SOS or something like that. But they deep now. They got their own crew down, But they ran with us all the time. They always ran with the blacks. Mexicans, they used to get mad at the Mexicans because the Mexicans used to thought they was Mexicans and shit. They didn't like that shit. You call them a Mexican, man, you gonna get hit in the mouth. You know what I'm saying? They hate that shit. Don't call them a Mexican. Because they offended on that. They really offended on that.
Hey, explain to me the difference from Park Village and the Arms.
Okay, well, only difference from Park Village and the Arms is newer apartments than old Park Village. Because, they was like, the way Park Village was built, it was like projects all the way around. Like the project are like Imperial Courts and stuff like that, but the houses is a little different from the projects of Imperial Courts. But they was built something like that all the way around. But the Wilmington Arms, it was like more modernized and stuff like that, more newer, everything newer, stuccoed, everything stuccoed and everything, And that's the only different. But the people ain't different at all. The people is the same. They all come from the same grain. It's still on Park Village grounds. That's all it is. Just some new apartments, just like the Sunny Coast. They build houses around there now. But it's still the same. It's still Park Village. Ain't nothing changed. And the young niggas make sure it don't change too. I mean, it's only right, because you can't break up the hood. The hood is always in you anyway. You can take a nigga out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the nigga. Because he was always gonna be there. That's all it is.